Boxing Ego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. One.
Hold on, guys. Hold on, guys. Hold on.
That's not me. Can have an argument with the outcome, and it's my pleasure to open up questions for the WBC welterweight champion of the world, Shawn Porter.
Show, baby.
What time is it? I'll say showtime.
All right. Let's be serious, okay? We have the champion, and he deserves some media questions first, and then you can cheer him all you want.
If you have a question, please raise your hand for the mic.
What time is it?
Showtime! All right, here we go. First question.
Congratulations, champ. Yes. Congratulations. Great fight. Really enjoyed it. My question is, who's next for you, reality-wise? Did you have anybody in mind? Whether you're going to be going on vacation for a week or two?
Well, you know what? I know how this thing works, you know, so I know that Errol Spence got in the ring and he said he wanted to fight me in front of the world. And I politely accepted that challenge, not only because he stepped in the ring and said it, but because that's what I really want. I think that you know, I've been in the ring with Keith. I just beat Danny. I think Errol's the next guy for me. The part that you all hate, that I didn't say in the ring because I know better than that, is that you know, there's going to be some business that needs to play out. But I assure you, it won't be because of Errol Spence if this fight is not next for me, and it would not be because of me if my next fight is not against Errol Spence. So I think at this point, man, we just got to be patient and make sure that that's what everybody wants. And that's the way it goes. I know the WBC has some things in mind for me, and we'll see what happens.
Right here.
Shawn, how concerned were you when it went to the cards? You've been on the wrong end of this before, obviously, in this building.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts before the scores were read?
It was tough. I was in the building when Keith Thurman won a split decision against Danny Garcia, and no offense to Danny, but I didn't see the fight that way. I thought that the fight was a little bit more lopsided for Keith. Coming back to the corner after rounds, my dad gives me the real. And there were times I came back and he said, we gotta push harder. There were times I came back and he said, you won that round. You know, so throughout the fight, we knew that we had a hold of the fight, but my dad wasn't 100% sure, especially like you said, given what's quote unquote happened to me before, and then also, you know, we've seen Danny, you know, the outcomes of Danny fights as well, you know. So when I heard unanimous decision, I just wanted my name. I just wanted to hear my name. And the moment I heard my name was just so surreal for me. It was like, wow. Yeah. Appreciate you taking me back there. Yeah.
Hey, Shawn, right here.
What's up, Dan?
Congratulations on the victory. I know how much this one means to you, and I wonder if there's any way that you can differentiate which was a bigger, winning your first title, and I know what the long road has been to try to get back here, the loss to Keith. Which one is sweeter? Was it getting that first one, or is it this one?
I think it's this one.
If you could say why.
I'm not exactly sure why, to be honest with you. And I knew what we were going for when we fought for the IBF. I knew that we were fighting Devin Alexander, a great fighter, you know, when we fought, and I knew I was going to dominate him, and I knew that I was going to win that title. And I think this time it was more so, it wasn't that I didn't know, but it was more so that I just really, really wanted it. And I think you know, it just makes this one a little bit more sweeter for me.
And one other thing, you mentioned that you know that there's probably some business that has to be done. WBC's in order, mandatory, most likely.
I bet you guys hate that word, business, huh?
No, I get it. I've done this long enough to understand how it works. And I think that Errol Spence has talked about the Garcia fight potentially at the end of this year, next year. in your mind, knowing the business that it will have to take place and the possibility of him fighting another significant fight also, when do you think that it's realistic? It seems to me that maybe in the spring.
I'll be honest, I'm not sure. I know that I don't think him getting in the ring was for show, and I know that, you know, again, the words that we exchanged in the ring was not for show, so I really don't know. Like I said, I know the WBC has some plans, and we'll see if they're willing to, you know, go a different route.
Shawn, Danny landed his...
It was, you know, 270 more punches than someone else, and, you know, I'm sure that, you know, punches connected were about, you know, we could have been close to even, but I may have been, you know, a little higher than him as well. So, was I a little higher than him? Just slightly, yeah. It was a good fight, it really was.
Shawn.
Right here.
Considering how close
What's up, man?
he was up, buddy.
Hang on. Go ahead. Go.
Considering how close your fight with Keith was,
Yeah.
And the fact that you now beat Danny and he had a close fight with Danny,
Yeah.
how would you rank? Where does this put you? How do you rank the top 5 guys in the division?
I'm the new champion. Errol, Shawn Porter, Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, Terrence Crawford.
Okay, so can you explain just a little bit why you rank it that way? Is it substance?
I think I'm speaking on who's been active at 47, who has been dominant at 47, and who's champions at 47.
Why do you have Crawford?
Why do I have Crawford so high? Because he's just getting there. Because he's just getting there. Yeah.
And then the other question, do you have any idea what the WBC might have in mind in terms of an opponent? Kenny?
They got me.
You know, Errol Spence. If anybody decides to do anything other than that, that's not in our control, but we want to fight Errol Spence. I don't want to see Shawn fight till he's 40 years old. I want Shawn to fight the prime guys now while he's in his prime. Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, Errol Spence, Bud Crawford. Great fighters, should make each other great. Let's fight.
Shawn, were you were you pleased with how you started the fight, and what was your sense of how the first 3 rounds went?
I was pleased with how I started the fight. I wanted to come in, be patient, and work the game plan that we've been working. Move around the ring and use the jab from the outside and boxing from the outside. Get him to come to me, which we thought would be a really good asset for us. And you know, I think the majority of the punches that he threw coming towards me, I was able to make him miss. That was something we knew we would be able to do. So I thought the first, you know, honestly, I didn't score the fight during the fight in my head, but I remember being pretty comfortable for the most part throughout the whole fight.
He landed some big shots in the 3rd round. Were you ever hurt?
No. So he did a good job though.
What's the thought process behind the style change up? You weren't your normal self. You didn't like full rush. You decided to box early in the fight.
If I don't, he did a good job of clinching. He didn't hold. He did a good job of clinching. But I could tell that was a part of their game plan, was to try to catch me coming in, and if I got too close, just clinch him and stop him from punching was I could tell was a big part of their game plan. So we were trying to play the head game, you know, come in and, you know, use the great jab from the outside and use feints, set it all up, you know. So it's just up to me to stay with the game plan. It's up to me to stay focused on what's being asked of me in the corner and do it. And I would say scale of 1 to 10, I was about 7 or 8 doing that tonight.
Shawn, you were really animated in there tonight. You were doing a lot of talking in the ring.
Yeah.
You care to share what you two were talking about? You seem like you were really engaging in some really.
I've been saying this for a little while, man. I really wanted to stay in tune with everything that was going on with winning this WBC title, whether it was a press conference, whether it was photo shoot, whatever it was. I just really wanted to enjoy everything. So when I got in the ring tonight, I wanted to be relaxed. They, believe it or not, I was gloved up for about an hour, about 2 hours tonight. And it was like, I told them, I looked at them, I said, they got us back here like we a swing bout or something like that. They wanted us ready early, and we stayed ready. There were points where we had to sit down and just watch an entire 12-round fight and, you know, continue to try to stay focused and do our thing. So I said, you know what, no matter what's going on, nothing else matters but winning this belt, you know. So when I came out, I wanted to be the same way. I wanted to be relaxed. I wanted to, you know, hear my corner, hear what's going on in the fight and really fill it out. I made him miss some big shots, and I wanted him to know that he missed those big shots and he could hit me. Try to get him out of his game, you know. I think if you guys go back and take a look at this fight, you see points where my hands are up, his hands are up. I put my hands down, he puts his hands down. And that's a part of manipulating somebody and getting them to do what you want them to do. I don't mean that disrespect.
Hey, Shawn, the 10th round was probably the best 2-8 action round.
Yeah.
And did you maybe have a sense that he thought that the momentum had shifted and, you know, he had to do something big, and that was around that, like, he threw everything that he had at you and you know, you threw it right back at him?
We were, my dad had been asking me to put my foot on the gas pedal probably from about round 8. And we talked a little bit about that in the back, but I assure you, he won't have to ask me that many times to do that. You know, we were coming back after the 8th round. He's saying, "Hey man, put your foot on this gas pedal, back him up, stay to his body, and keep backing him up." You know, and that was something that we wanted to do a little bit later on in the fight. So, still some adjustments that need to be made. But like you said, that 10th round was a big round. We knew he could not punch me. Faster hands than I expected, and I expected the hustle that he had, body all the way up to the head. But I think we did a good job of just defending him and sticking in our good body shots as well.
Congratulations, Shawn. We spoke before the fight about your relationship with your father and the way that he's able to motivate you as not just a father, but also as a trainer. I know you just mentioned some of the things that he said to you while the fight was going on, especially, you know, the game plan to put the pedal to the metal in the second half of the fight. But both of you guys can answer this. What did you guys see getting up to that point where you were at in the fight? And what were some of the things, Mr. Porter, that you said to your son that really could push him and motivate him more than any other trainer would be able to if he...
I'll go first. I think that he saw that my punch output should have been higher. He saw that. I wasn't quite as aggressive as he would expect me to be throughout the fight, and I think that he wanted me to be more aggressive in the back end of the fight. I think that was ultimately why he was saying, you know, put your foot on the gas pedal, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. You know, and in a lot of ways kind of begged me in round 10, 11, and 12 to really go after it. And I tried to do my best to do that.
Do you feel that you can the way you responded in doing so, and that actually helped you win the fight clearly?
I do.
Would
I do.
somebody else be able to?
Yeah.
That's because it's your pop and you have that kind of...
No. He looked me in the eyes, man, and Barry as well. He said, "You said you want this. You got to go get this. You got to fight. My dad, you got to fight this, man." You know, and you know they were just putting a sense of urgency into me, into my mind, to really go out there and go after what I want.
Congratulations, WBC champ.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely. Was there any time in the fight?
So you won your bet?
Absolutely. You know that's right. Was there any time in the fight that you felt that you hurt him? Any kind of indication that you hurt him in the body?
I thought there was definitely one time I hit him. It was
to the body.
It was to the body for sure, but there was one head shot, and I think I said "woo" or something like that, and I kind of went after him. I thought I might have, you know, got in a good shot, and he got up on me and clinched me a little bit. And he said, "Nope, that ain't it." I'm like, all right, let's get back to it.
What about in the clinches? Did you feel like he was strong in the clinch, and maybe you couldn't?
There was only one time we were on the rope. He had me on the ropes, and we were kind of clinched, and then he pushed off. And when he pushed off, I kind of was like, oh, all right, you got some, you got some strength.
So do you think the ref should have warned him maybe? Because there was multiple clinches.
No.
What's the difference between a clinch and a hold? I feel like he was holding him.
This, he did really good. He got close to me, kind of hold / clinch, and then he did what he needed to do to make it so that it wasn't a hold.
Right.
And I
Which was
respect
smart.
him. Yeah, I respect him for that. I think he did a good job of that, and I think best thing I could have did in that situation was let my hands go a little bit more on the way in, and then not stand there and allow that to happen.
2 more questions, guys.
Yes, sir.
Shawn, congratulations on the victory.
Better be a good one. It's 2 more.
What was?
Go ahead.
What was the idea behind boxing and staying on the outside early, as opposed to coming forward?
Again, it was just to make him miss. It was to make everyone in the crowd and the judges especially see that he couldn't hit me, and I could box and hit him from the outside. I think it's easier to score a fight from the outside than it is to score a fight when a guy's on the ropes. I'm no rookie to this. I understand if I'm on this side of the ropes, the judge that's to my back, he can't see what I'm doing. She can't see what I'm doing. And I know it goes the same way for every corner and every rope. So it's a smart tactic to try your best to beat a guy from the outside and work your way in. I think that was what we were going for this fight.
Well, you don't usually fight like that.
Hey, you saw it tonight, didn't you?
Now, Shawn, you said on Thursday that you wanted to put out. This is like you really needed this. This is like the top of the top.
Yeah.
You also said you was going to take his nuts. Did you take his nuts?
Oh, you brought that back. I went out there.
In a sense that you really went out there.
I think especially in the later rounds, I went out there and just really did what my corner asked. My corner said, "Go get that belt.
Yeah, that's
go do what you got to do." And I think I pretty much accomplished what we were trying to do in the corner. Yeah.
Thank you, Shawn.
Yeah, thank you.
I want to thank Barry Hunter and Hal Chernoff. And people would think that we just got together, this was some master plan on my own. No. I first went up against Barry when Shawn was 9 years old, against super tough, what's his last name? Keon Davis, super tough kid that I was just amazed that he could fight that damn good. And I started working with Shawn, so a lot of what you see is what Keon did to us all those years ago. And Barry and I have traveled the world together, we've shared rooms together, we went up against each other in the Olympic trials, our fighters, and then we, in the first half of Shawn's career, first probably 15 fights, we were together. Hal Chernoff, he had one of the toughest fighters that we ever had to fight, and we were rivals, always going for the national championship against each other. And then when we turned pro, Hal said, "Hey, come with me and have your pro debut." So Shawn had his pro debut on one of Hal's shows. So these guys being here today was just, a continuation of the friendship and the relationship that we've always had. And they know Shawn Porter probably as good as anyone else out there because they went up against him so many times. But they know me just as well. And so the level of respect I have for these guys, I'm grateful that they came out, they gave up their time, they walked away from everything they had going on to be here. I just want to thank you guys.
Guys, Shawn has to go back and take care of some business before he leaves, but one quick thing. He just said 2 minutes ago that he wants the man to my right next. That would be his greatest desire.
Probably was gone.
What? Yeah, he just keeps on coming back. Before I just turn over to him, I just want to say one thing. In this business, it's a hard business, and the guys over here to my left and the man holding this belt has worked so hard to get to this moment and fought he's fought the best guys put in front of him. He's put everybody put in front of him, and he's had a couple of fights that could have gone his way, go the other way, and he's standing here tonight holding the green belt that he's worked so hard for, And a round of applause for Showtime. And now I'm going to hand the mic over here to our friends for a second.
How y'all doing? I came back, but like I said, you know, like I don't have no bad blood against Shawn or Kenny Porter, you know, or Barry Hunter. Like I said before, I grew up with these guys, and you know, they're great fighters. Shawn's a great fighter, you know. Shawn's a fighter who'll fight anybody. He's an old school fighter. He's just like myself. So I don't have to hate the fighter just to fight a fighter or to beat a fighter. So I got nothing but respect for Shawn and Kenny. I got no respect for their system. I got no respect for their you know, father and sonhood. But you know, like I said, I have a dream in my hand too. I want to be a unified champion. I want to be undisputed champion. So I had to go through them doors, and that's Shawn Porter. So I definitely want that fight, and you know, I definitely think it can happen. Hopefully it happens sooner than later, and hopefully it happens in the first quarter of next year. So it's definitely a fight I want. I definitely fight it can be made because we fight on the same network. We both have the same management, and like I said, I'm an old school fighter. He's an old school fighter too, and we're all about glory. We're all about the money too. And it's definitely a money fight, and it's definitely the money's in the pot with the new announcement that Al Hammond made and PBC made. So the money's there, so it's gonna happen.
It's only appropriate that before he walks out, though, this is this man's night, Shawn Porter's night. If you want the last word, buddy,
Not
take
at all,
the mic.
man. He said everything that needs to be said. I'm looking forward to this. We've known for some time now, you know, who was going up the ladder and who we would be seeing at the top. When it was Keith and I's turn, you know, we had dinner together, and you know, we had done things together. I've been in camp with him and everything like that. So there was no bad blood there. And same goes for this man. And probably would be more fun to promote a fight with Errol Spence because, like he said, him and I are a lot alike, and you know, and being old school fighters, being fighters who want to fight hard and put on great shows. And he's after this green belt, so come get it.
Don't duck me, son.
Thank you.